You're watching the chapter number 9 of the Blender Materials, Textures and Nodes course, Magic and Environment Textures. In today's chapter, we'll be learning about these topics and then later on, we'll also use them in the retro gaming arcade scene that we have been creating in this course. And yes, if you're someone who's new to this course, then do watch the previous 8 chapters by using the link of the playlist given in the pinned comment. So I've opened this materials file where we created this wood texture in the last chapter, and for today, our first topic will be to understand about the magic texture node. So first of all, let's create the slot for a new material and click on the new button, and to apply this material to the UV sphere, press tab to enter the edit mode, and with all the faces selected, click on the assign button. After this, return back to the object mode, and now let's add the magic texture node in the shader editor. So press Shift plus A, then go to texture and select the magic texture. We'll place it over here, and to see what it does, I'll connect the factor socket to the base color. Now as you can see, the magic texture will create some colorful, abstract and unpredictable patterns which are often used to create artistic effects in materials. In this node, the first option that we have is to control the depth, and if I increase it, then the complexity of the texture will keep on increasing. Then we have the scale value that will control the scaling of the texture applied on the UV sphere. Similarly, the distortion value will add a distorted effect on the texture applied. In fact, to see the effect in a much better way, I'll change the mode to the material preview mode. Now let's zoom in and also reduce the scale value to around 5 or 6. And now if I try to increase the distortion value, then its effect can easily be seen on the material of the UV sphere. It kind of distorts the entire pattern which is created by the magic texture, giving it a complex but interesting look. In fact, in the magic texture also, if you want, you can change the different colors with the help of the color ramp node. So to add it here in the shader editor, press Shift plus A, then go to converter and select the color ramp. We'll place it in between the magic texture and the principal BSDF node. Now by adjusting these pointers in the color ramp node, we can make the changes in color in the magic texture. In fact, to change the color, click here, increase the brightness, and in the color wheel, choose the specific color. Let's do the same for the other pointer also. So I left click to select it, then click here and change the color to something else. Similarly, we can even add some more colors by clicking on the plus icon and changing the color from here. So in this way, you can add different colors to the magic texture simply by using the color ramp node and adjusting the positions and the colors of these pointers. Moving ahead, the next topic of this chapter is the environment texture. But before adding the environment texture node, let's first understand its meaning and its usage. So the environment texture node is used to light your scene with the help of an image file, also known as HDRI. And since it is not related to the object but rather to the 3D world or this 3D scene, so instead of the object type, we have to use this node in the world shader type. So by clicking here, I change the shader type to world, and over here we have this default setup of the background node connected with the world output. This particular node, which is the background, controls the color of the scene or the 3D viewport. But right now, if I go to the color parameter and try to change it, then we are not able to notice any difference in our scene. And this is because we have turned off the scene lights and the scene world. So I'll turn both of them on. And now in the background node, I'll change the color to something else like the blue color, and by doing this, the color of the 3D viewport or the scene will begin to change. Similarly, by using the strength value, I can control the strength of the emitted light. But for now, I'll change this to the default value of 1, and now let's use the environment node. So to add it here, press Shift plus A, then go to texture and select the environment texture. Let's place it over here, and before connecting it to the background node, we first need to download some HDRIs to be used in the environment texture. So I searched for some HDRIs for Blender and see there are plenty of websites that will allow you to download different type of HDRIs for your Blender file. And for now, I'll open polyheaven.com for downloading the HDRIs. So click on browse HDRIs, and here we have many different HDRIs that we can download. In fact, we can even select the category of HDRI. For example, the studio lighting based, then you have the sunrise, sunset, indoor lighting, and a lot more. But for now, I will select the studio lighting, and now you can choose any of the HDRI that you think will be the best for your scene. For example, I'll select this one, and to download it, simply click on the download button. Now I've reopened the Blender file, and to use the HDRI in the environment texture, click on this open button. Then select the particular file that we just downloaded and click on open image. After this, take the color socket in the environment texture and connect it to the color socket in the background. And by doing this, we are now having this HDRI applied to our scene. And because of this, we also have the lighting effect in the scene. In fact, you can control this effect with the strength value in the background node. So if I reduce this, the effect of emission or the lighting will get reduced. And if I increase it, then the effect will increase. But for now, I'll change this value to 0.2, and this is how it looks. And now after all this, we have now covered both the environment texture as well as the magic texture in this chapter. And yes, if you want to download this Blender file with all the materials that we are saving in this course, then you can join the Patreon, whose link is added in the description of this video. And now is the time to use some of these concepts that we understood today in the retro gaming arcade scene that we have been creating since the beginning of this course. So I've opened this file of the arcade scene where in the last chapter we applied this wood texture that we created by using the noise texture node, and today we'll change this red colored material applied on these faces to a different material with the magic texture node. And to do this thing, with the gaming machine selected, go to the material properties and select this red colored material that we have applied to the side faces. Now press tab to enter the edit mode, deselect everything and click on the select button in order to select all the faces with this material applied. Now let's create a new material by clicking on the plus icon and then on the new button. Then to assign this material to the selected faces, click on the assign button and also get back to the object mode. Now to create a material with the magic texture, go to the shader editor, press shift plus A, then go to texture and select the magic texture node. Let's place it over here and connect the color socket to the base color. After this, in order to make it look complex, I'll first increase the depth to a value of 4 and then I'll also increase the scaling value from 5 to somewhere around 10 or 15. Then go to distortion and let's increase it up to a value of 3 or 4, and I'll also change the mode to the material preview mode in order to see the changes in a much better way. So we have this magic texture applied on the side faces, and let's also adjust the scaling and the distortion value in order to give it a complex look. After this, to add some colors to the texture, let's add the color ramp node after the magic texture. So press shift plus A, then go to converter and select the color ramp. We'll place it in between the magic texture and the principal BSDF node. After this, move the pointers and also change the colors by using the color wheel. So I'll change the first color to the blue color, and then for the second pointer, let's place it over here and change it to green or maybe yellow color. And then if you want, you can click on the plus icon in order to create a new pointer and change the color by using the color wheel. So for this one, I'm choosing the red color and now it looks perfect. With this, we have applied this magic texture to the side faces of the gaming machine. And with this, we also arrive to the end of this chapter. Today we learned about the magic texture node and the environment texture node, and both of them are very useful in order to create an abstract pattern effect and HDRI lighting effects respectively. And yes, before ending, if you wish to download the Blender file containing the complete retro gaming arcade scene, then you can join the Patreon, whose link is added in the description of this video. And so our next chapter will be the chapter number 10, Advanced Textures. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel, press that notification bell so that you can get timely updates about the upcoming chapters. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next one.